Welcome back to Factorio MSX Gigabase, where we are pursuing a SpaceX campaign where everything has been set to extreme, and to make it even more difficult, we have increased all of the tech prices by the marathon multiplier. So therefore the final SpaceX research is 8 million, not 125,000, but 8 million of everything, and the red and green is doubled, and along with that we have the extreme SpaceX pricing on the actual products as well, and the 25 times launches required for each one. So that is quite a big deal. We are currently doing fusion reactor that requires all the sciences except space science. It's the last one that requires military science and everything that we have remaining. So I have actually come to the sciences to put a choke on military science so that we don't overproduce. But in the meantime, I thought you might be interested to see how our get rid of modules has done as far as red and blue circuits are concerned. And as you can see, we still have some plastic shortage. I mean, there's 4 outstanding plastic requests. There's a 5th, so and there's a 6th. So plastic is still definitely a worry, but at least the immediate red and blue circuit backlog has for the moment dried up, although blue science is just not keeping up at this point, unfortunately, and it's not going to get a rest for a little while. So let's just have a quick look in map mode on our lab stacks. That has 35,000. We know that the tech is that we're doing at the moment is 384,000. We look like we're over halfway, so it's only 190 odd thousand left. If you divide that by 8, it's sort of, well, it's no more than 25,000. So if the stacks have that sort of number of military science, 11,000, that one's a little bit light, but it's not terrible. 23, 31, 30, 23. So there's only one that really is likely to even need a top-up, let alone be worried about where it's at the moment. This one here is, this one has all it needs for the top-up. So we really don't want to keep producing more military science. We're not going to use it in this playthrough. We need to turn it off a little bit like we did with the modules. And there's another train getting filled up with military science. You will notice that our surplus on the military science has been dying off. We are down to 81,000. What I'm going to do is I'm just going to rip out all of their requests, because I don't want any more of this stuff called up. We're getting 2 more deliveries there, we're getting 1 more there. I might even send them away as they turn up, because their resources are just getting wasted, and I don't really want that. I'd rather they were deployed elsewhere. Military science is still building by 2,500 a minute, and we don't really need that. I mean, we might even have to go back into the tech when we're all done and just do one of these things that uses military science just to get rid of it. But oh, right, here we go. You can just go back to coal 7, thanks. We actually needed that coal quite desperately, so that will cause a shutdown in military science production. That's pretty good. We still have 1 more train coming. There's one up there. We can use you elsewhere, thanks. And we can use you elsewhere as well. So that's it for the military science. I'm pretty sure that our machine will now cope with the remainder of fusion reactor. What else did I do since last time, aside from monitoring things like that? I actually came over here and gave each of these areas a bunch more of the medium poles so that we could get rid of all of the, well, we could get all of the miners that we added in recently, except for these ones. Obviously we could get them all operating. Hopefully we still have, we do. So in just a moment this one should be operating as well. We had actually developed quite a backlog just because some of these were not in action, so it was definitely worth doing that. It doesn't look like we need to add more miners though. We look like we're coping fairly well with what we've got, so I'll leave it as it is. They all look fine. We still have the plastic shortage. I mean, there's 6 plastic. 6 plastic right there. Blue science shortage is not going anywhere. But anyway, what I thought I'd work on is these flashing lights. Aside from the fact that they're highlighting that these mines are not very efficiently, well, these platforms are not very efficiently fed anymore, they do actually take resources to have all these warning symbols, so I want to get rid of that. So I have come to, well, I'm going to go over to the Iron Smelter 5 and we will fix up that smelter. With a bit of luck that will be enough to finish off fusion reactor as well. Be enough time for fusion reactor to finish off. Why do we have purple science and this one keeps waiting? I don't get it. Something about that doesn't quite work. We've even got a green science that is waiting. That doesn't seem to make a lot of sense. That one's already on its way, so that's fine. Never mind. Let us head to Iron Smelting 5 and tidy up that facility. Iron Smelting 5. For the first time in ages, it looks like steel is actually on top of things. Wow. None of these requests relate to steel. It's all other stuff that is in shortage. Circuits related, iron related, plastic for sure related. We're making the short journey from here just up to here so that we can fix up this. A quick sip of my drink. Right. What we need to do really is plan the alternate locations for these platforms. I'm thinking Probably a 2 platform through here and another one through here. This one obviously has to stop short of there, but the bulk of it can be sort of back here. And that would be a little bit more efficient with where the weight of the resource is at this point, rather than, I mean, it's going all the way over here, and if we continue it as it is, we just have to build even longer paths for the bots. Don't like that at all. So we'll probably want to avoid this just by virtue of how much stuff's in there, although it doesn't look too bad, especially given there's a rubbish train nearby. We could actually move that one, but do we need to? In Vinny Zoom, to the rescue. If we did something like that, it wouldn't be too terrible. It does allow, I think, some room right up here. They're not connected. That should be sufficient. Excuse me. And on this other side, well, probably maybe coming through about here, which would mean that this guy is well and truly in the way. And I would probably want to clear through here as well, so that we can go back to our good friend in Vinny Zoom. Let me just in Vinny Zoom a bit. Whatever we do, we seem to be running into a row of boxes, so let's get rid of a row of boxes as well. Something, I guess, like that. Now, our dudes can come out and play. It looks like we need some more stations. Let's go and get that while we think about it. How's this doing? It's getting very close. So this is iron 14. Well, we might even make one of them iron 14A. Divide up the train's responsibility between the two. Maybe. Wow, we're just about out of rail. So I probably need a Y here rather than, if I put in this junction like so, we don't have a lot of room for the corners, so I may have to create an all new junction specially for our purposes here. Which is a little annoying, I suppose. Looks like there's some vestiges of old, old infrastructure. So how would this look if it was angled? I don't like that. We need to go back at least one. That looks decent. Now, the other side, where exactly is that going to come through? Started using it already. Shouldn't be a problem. Although we are missing all of the inserters, so it is a problem from that respect. Oh, and these have gotten very confused. There we go. Let's deal with more of these annoying trees. Unfortunately, it's the old-fashioned way. We're a little bit close for the good old-fashioned nuke, so we may just have to hold off on that for the moment. Let me just work out where that one should be. I think it is this connection actually. So that should make this a little bit easier. There we go. What I need to do obviously is zero these things here. That's not really helping, guys. I'm just putting it in a box that I'm going to have to clear in the very near future, but never mind. $16K. You can't get out apparently, because you're all over the place. Why are you just standing here? because you're actually trying to get out of the way. But you can't, because this hasn't all been signalled up in a nice friendly way for you. You poor little thing. And I need some more signals, so why don't I get some basic extra resources, including signals and track and stack inserters. Off the engineering train. We'll probably be repaying some of these things very soon, but just for the moment, a bit of extra will certainly help. Let's try that for size. Now, I wish I could say this is probably the last of these outpost changes that we need to do, but it probably isn't in reality, so I'm not going to make such a claim. Oh good, that's moving now, so with a bit of luck you'll be able to move shortly. Fantastic. So let's get back here. We want to manage down the supplies here to 0. These ones still have filters, don't they? Oops. These guys are loading up, but might not. Oh no, there you go, they're off. They should be able to get out eventually. How's that one going? 9,000. There we go, I think one of those has departed, yes. That's very good. What about these guys? We are starting to get empty requested chests, that's fantastic. Alright, let's get down here and start disabling train stations. Like this one for example. You can head there with your incomplete load. Oh, it looks like there's more over here. You've only got 11k, but it looks like that's all you are going to get. That's also okay. Got 612 in there. I can deal with 612. On your way, thank you very much. And how much have you got? 15,000, but there's still a handful in there. I'd rather a train comes in and picks it up. even if it's a little bit wasteful, but you may as well go on your way. Come on, autosave. So yeah, we can probably get a little bit more aggressive with the removal of stuff now. I don't want to depower the remainder of those platforms, that's the only thing. Oh. It looks like I have depowered some, so we're going to have to do something about that. That one must be out of juice, how about that? Fixes up this side. We need something over here. Over here. Just for the moment. Right, I do need another train down here. Where are you going? Iron 16, that's no good to me. What about you? Iron 17, Iron 16, Iron 15, everything but an Iron 14. Well, we know this platform is working at this point. So I guess what I can do is temporarily disable that one, temporarily disable that one. That will force the remaining trains that come in down into the middle so that we can clear those platforms once and for all. Get rid of the extra here and then integrate more line down here, which will wait for a moment. Thank you. Now, it should have emptied all of those. It looks like it has. You only have 2.2k. Let's take you over here. Empty that one as well. Switch to manual mode. Just make sure nothing's coming to spoil our party. I'm going to restore this connection at this point. Jump on board and let us go down this way and this way and go to Iron 14. We can get rid of all of this. New trains pulled up there, just to show that it's working. I have an awful lot of bots on me that I don't want. Wow. Some of this train is actually completely full. It still has some stuff here. We need yet another train down here. see how this goes. We might have to... Oh, this one can't get out because of this one. Because of this segment here, basically. For the moment, let's remove that. And give you one of those, and let's put one of those in here. There. So, one of these guys should be trying to depart. I guess it needs what will amount to a temporary signal in there. Now when this one goes forwards, I will snip again, which should force this one to pick up the remaining iron ore from here so that we don't have to worry about it. There's not actually that much, but it's better that I don't have to pick it up. And now we can go, whoops, too late. No! You moron! Why is it always the case? You try and carefully manage these so that it's easier for you, and you end up making it harder on yourself. Oh, and now we're getting all of the trains like... Okay, fine. You just keep going to iron 14 as you were. But you're the last train that is going to be allowed to head down that way. This is all done, is it? Yep. You only have 1.2, but... don't worry about it, just get out of there. Right. All of them will come down here now. Let's just send this one on its way. This is not required anymore. And some general snipping. Right. So, I think that what we have is, yeah, this path joins the outside. Like so. Like that. I will leave this power infrastructure on for the moment, but we don't need this bit. This lot doesn't have any power, so we better fix that up. And there's a lot of medium poles here that are not achieving any good purpose. So let's get rid of them. I mean, ideally we make this independent by running power up this way. Like so. This one out the side here is a waste of time, of everyone's time and money, so let's get rid of that. How are we doing for time? We're actually taking a whole lot longer than I expected us to, but never mind. You could probably do with one of those. Now, let us try and get some of these miners where the trains are now. Oh, they were going this side around, weren't they? Yeah, from the looks of things. That's alright, we'll do that. And I guess the general idea is, I mean, this is kind of a busy one, I suppose. What's that? Those are some stack inserters that I can barely see. The idea at this point is to get, you know, 2 or 3 rows on each side, fairly close to the train lines. So that they can be served fairly efficiently. This is a pretty silly place to have a bot thing. Whoops. Oh. That didn't quite work out. Never mind. It should have been more like that. Now, we don't want all of these medium poles here, because they do represent a burden, and we do want to establish our line of miners along beside the train, because that is basically the whole point of having done this. So that's probably good for these two. Now, now what we need to do is separation of mines. So those ones probably need to go. That one clearly needs to go. In fact, all of these probably need to go. And that needs to go. And those need to go. And that one probably needs to go as well. Now we need to work out where, or which set of mines these ones here are supposed to serve. I guess it should be these. had a roboport at that location. That sort of sorts that out. Now, what's the division of bots? 440. It's not fair, but we don't need 1,000, and this one is not being used nearly as much. I don't want all of this excess power. You're out by yourself, that's no good. This network is useless right now. Right, let's come down here. No, that's no good. We do not want connected bots. You are a problem, buddy. Probably put you about there, though. Get rid of that. Let's try this one. Mind you, it is facing the wrong direction for these guys, so I suppose we could do something with these. One, two. One, two. 1, 2. 1, 2. 1, 2. And on the other side. One, two. 1, 2. 1, 2. 1, 2. There you have it. We don't need that. We don't need that. We don't need all of these. Surplus power poles most definitely cost you. Each one might not cost you a lot, but they do add up. So I do recommend that you get rid of them if you don't need them. Right, that looks a bit better. We're missing something just here. What's that? Oh, it's a radar. And I don't have any radars on me, so I'm going to have to pick one up. Or at least top up my supply of radars. I'm pretty sure we have some. Good. I was hoping this episode would see the fusion reactor out, but I think we're running out of time, so you'll just have to... Well, we'll see what we've got for next episode. Let's get rid of these signals, because they don't help anybody. So that's got rid of all the flashing lights there. What's all of this stuff that's flashing? We need to fix that up. You need power. What is it that is flashing here? Missing construction robots. Really. They really are missing construction robots. Alright. Easily remedied. Anything else? It's a little close. .24, 45 objects missing construction robots. Is that dropping? 44. Not here. Right. So that's on the other side of the map, way over here. In the copper 4 stack. Up here it's missing construction robots as well. So that's something we need to sort out. It'll be a bit of an adventure to get there. Down here as well, looks like it's missing, well, it's missing radar, it's missing some construction robots, so we may have to venture out into copper 4, just depending what else might be on our agenda, but I think we've done enough for this episode. So thanks for joining me, and I look forward to seeing you in the next as we continue to smash through these initial SpaceX sciences and getting ready for the FTL Fairy A and B, maybe even C, when we'll also be launching components. Can't wait. See you then, guys. Bye bye for now.